to watch this, so it worked out. No. So yeah.
Nice.
So that benefited me.
That's
I
good.
was a little nervous because Brandon did say there was clapping in our theater. Just warning. Yeah.
Granted, we did go to a fan screening, so that kind of comes with
Granted,
territory.
I did stand up before the movie with gunfire and say, "Don't clap at this movie." It's a movie. No guns.
Why is there blue lights outside your house?
No guns, no killing.
I'm calling. This is my only phone call, guys. So,
like and subscribe.
Yeah, please, I gotta get bail. And I ain't talking about Christian. So, no. Anywho, so guys, how you been? We didn't have a show last week. I was escaping to Disney World.
Disney. How was Disney?
I witnessed something that you don't witness every day at Disney. I witnessed a grown woman punch a stroller with a 6-month-old baby in it. So,
it may happen more often than you think down there.
So that happened. And then she tried to fight my sister and blessed everybody out with many expletives. It was a good time. It was great. Happiest place on earth. You know what I mean?
That's what I was about to say. You beat me to it.
I think that people lie to themselves about the magic and happiness of Disney World. I noticed a lot of people losing their minds. A lot of guys were wearing shirts instead of straight out of Compton. It was like straight out of cash, because they were broke. They were really wearing, I saw at least 5 or 6 people wearing that particular shirt. All these shirts look like they were made on Cricut. My sister made us some shirts on the Cricut. We had 9 people in our party. But I had some good experiences. I rode all the Star Wars rides. We did the is it Chewie or is it the Wookiee? I think it's Chewie experience, but I don't know if they call it the Wookiee. Whatever they call it on Smuggler's Run, we were able to achieve that. So
for those that don't know, maybe explain what it is.
What's up, Dave? So
hey, Dave.
On Smuggler's Run, if you don't know what that is, don't shatter the dream for me. Well, that's what I'm here for. I'm not trying to shatter the dream. It was
buried.
I'm not sure what your dream is. If your dream is to go to Disney World, it's still good to go to Disney World. If your dream is to ride the Star Wars stuff, it's still good to ride the Star Wars stuff. I'm just saying, do it inexpensively. Don't pay for everything because Disney is just like, give me your money. No, the Smuggler's Run is where you fly the Millennium Falcon. Okay.
And before you get into that, what was your position? I never asked. Were you a gunner?
I was gunner, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because my nephews were driving, and then my niece and I were gunners, and my sister and brother-in-law were, hey, what's up, Tony? We're the engineers. Yeah. So I just hit 2 buttons the whole time. Just held down a button.
That's what, if I had to complain about that ride, if you're not a driver, then you can't really enjoy the ride because you're constantly looking at to the right to see.
Yeah, it was kind of awkward. That is true. And on the Millennium Falcon, you have the actual gun, and I don't know. It was still fun. It was fun to watch. I looked at I don't really get into the virtual rides. I need the threat of danger. I need to feel like I'm gonna die on a ride in order to have fun on it. I need to think. I remember when I was 10 or 12. I've been to Disney a few times in my life. And the second or third time I went, I was 10 or 12. And I got on Space Mountain and they were like, you're too tall for this. Now I'm 5'9". I'm not the tallest person in the world. So and they were like, yeah, you're too tall for this. You just duck down. And I think they were just messing with me. I am
had to have been
far removed from 10 or 12 years old, and I still duck like I'm in a bobsled team, like I'm on that ride.
Feel the rhythm. Feel the ride.
Exactly. I did that. We rode it twice, and I did that on the because that was the last thing. The park closed at 9:00 Monday night, and we literally rode that last. But so Smuggler's Run, you fly the Millennium Falcon, so on and so forth. You have to shift everything just right, hold down buttons and blah, blah, blah. You have to do it just perfectly in order for Chewbacca to growl at you the whole time instead of somebody shouting directions at you. And my nephew wanted to do that. He just kept trying to coach us through it. He was like, all right, first you gotta, and he sent us out a text message on our way to the park, like, all right, everybody, memorize this. And we were on a mission, and I didn't want to ruin it. And I was like, I am so tired because we had already been there for 3 days or 2 days or at that point, and you're just so tired. So I was like, I don't want to mess this up. So I asked the person that was setting us up on the ride, do you know how to do this Wookiee thing? I think they call it the Wookiee code or Chewie code or whatever. Anyway, and she's like, yeah. So she coached us through it, and we did it, and my nephew was excited. So I didn't really care if I was like sideways or whatever, but I do agree with you. It is kind of weird that's the way that is. But Rise of the Resistance is I think the build up to the ride is way better than the ride itself, in my opinion. Just like the walking through everything, it's kind of like, wow, this is really well put together. The ride itself is fun, don't get me wrong, but it's virtual. I don't feel like I'm gonna die or anything. And also, I'll say this is kind of my we'll have to try the Chewy code next time we go. Yeah, there's videos on YouTube. Tony, I'll send you the text my nephew sent me. It's got it all written out. But Rise of Resistance, everybody kept telling me all day, all right, there's a big dip in it where like you fall down. And I'm sitting there expecting like something to make my stomach turn, like that kind of dip, because everybody just in my family kept saying, oh man, it's a big dip. And I'm like, okay, cool. And the dip came, I was like, that's it. I guess so. It didn't even make me like have butterflies. So I was like, nah.
Well, if you wouldn't have known about it, you probably would have.
Well, I didn't know anything about the Avatar ride, and I thought that ride was just mediocre at best. I thought that was okay. But I don't get, like, again, I have to have the tick. I have to have that. You know, like I have to have like children crying and stuff like that. I wanted to ride Tower of Terror. It just wasn't in the cards. The line was way too long. We had Genie Plus all day long, which is the biggest ripoff. And then so we waited a total of like maximum of 15-20 minutes in each line because we paid accordingly. Can't really complain. My sister
doesn't sound like a ripoff if that's all you had to wait.
Well, it is a ripoff because they make you pay extra for certain rides, like the flagship rides. So, and if I'm lucky in the fact that my sister is a Disney travel agent, so she knows all the ins and outs of Disney. But if you don't know that you have to be on the app at 7 a.m. in order to get a spot, and then you have another window at whatever it is. I don't even remember. She was doing it all day. And you have to sit there and watch it all day long like you're waiting on concert tickets. And so she did all that. I mean, I'm trying to find a gift. If anybody has any ideas of a good gift I can give my sister for planning this out, I am all ears. She loves Disney stuff. She hates a bunch of junk around the house. I don't like to give gift cards. That's the criteria. I
think we have a copy of Suicide Squad that she might.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Could utilize.
You know, and also it was over 90 degrees, and I came from like 40-ish, like 50-ish degrees to over 90, and this skin ain't made for outside. So Ryan's sporting the same color I was sporting for many days. And
he's sporting the color that you are all the time.
yeah, I'm that color all the time. Our makeup artist is amazing. Thanks, Sarah. So anyway, no, but I don't think anybody should not go. I think that Disney is a lot more fun with kids involved. I have my 3 nephews, my 1 niece with us, so that was fun. The coolest thing we did, and we did this quite by accident. The fireworks were going off on the last night, and my sister had a lightning lane, is what they call it, after you can actually get the lane on Genie Plus. And we had a lightning lane for Big Thunder Mountain, and it's like Mine Train at Six Flags, and it's a kiddie kind of like intermediate roller coaster, no big deal, just a bunch of turns, no real twist or anything. And but it's fun. And we were going around the turns, and all of a sudden the fireworks started going off everywhere, and every turn was more fireworks. I'm not the biggest fireworks guy, but it added to the ride. So even my sister and brother-in-law and their children, who go all the time, said they're going to make that into a tradition of riding that during the fireworks. So if you do go, try that out. I'll say this: if you do go with kids, do the Chef Mickey breakfast. That was delicious. We did oh man, I forget the name of the restaurant. It was like the 50s Diner or whatever. We go there every time we go to Disney since I was a kid. And then Pecos Bill's was really good. It's just Tex-Mex food in Disney, so that was really good. But I highly suggest packing a snack. And I ate 1 meal most days. 90. That sounds like a lovely day in Texas. It was so if you're in Texas, you know it's super humid. It was like 97 one day, 94 another day at the highest. But then we got a little bit, like 20 minutes of rain, and it cooled it down. We had some cool breezes. We also went and watched a couple shows, like the Monsters Inc. show, which I thought was pretty good for kids. And oh shoot, what else? Muppets and the Cars show, and they had air conditioning and such in there, so it was really nice. Good escape while you're waiting on your other lightning lane to open up or whatever. So I think I am more of a Universal guy, or like a bigger roller coaster guy, so don't let my opinion paint a bad picture. I am going to say though, marketing has a lot to do with people going to Disney, much as most places, and it is definitely not the happiest place on earth, because most people were miserable if they weren't on a ride. I just saw children like break down in the middle of the park, like, wah! But one of the funniest things I saw was Kylo Ren came out on the stage, and there were stormtroopers out there, and this grown man, probably a Matrix fan, came up and he took his mask off and he goes, "Excuse me, why are your stormtroopers such bad shooters?" And he was like a grown man. He was like very adamant to know, why are your stormtroopers such bad shooters? And they have programmed, I'm guessing, this is what I'm guessing, they have programmed speech. Like, it's not like they can just ramble off and improv. So this guy was emphatic to know why the stormtroopers weren't good shooters, and Kylo Ren was not answering him, and he was just like just really upset about it. So I was like, whatever. So he did have a lisp, which most of them do. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I didn't get any souvenirs. I don't need any of that stuff personally, but ears were purchased for other people in my family. So I'm tired. I'm super tired. Still tired. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you had a good time.
It's good. Go if you want to. If you want to spend all your money, go. One thing that really hindered my trip was on the way down there, my air conditioner went out in my car. So that hurt. That was $1,000 expenditure I wasn't expecting, which luckily I'm fine. Thanks to our Patreon, if you want to. So, no, I'm just kidding. Ryan spends that on statues. So, but you're already spending all your money like at Disney, and you're like, so like a $1,500 trip for just me, got close to like, I think it was over 3,000, right? A little over $3,000 at the end of the day. So what are you going to do? So.
Well, Walt thanks you.
Yeah. His cryogenically frozen head. And then my sister texted me today, said, look, we missed out on everything. Apparently they had to clear out the castle today because the fire, there was I don't know if a fire actually broke out or if the fire department just went in and cleared everybody out during one of the I'm gonna dance in front of the castle shows. So lots of people taking Instagram photos though. Oh my God. 2 people were just sitting in the middle of the street. I took a picture of it because I knew you guys would be like, Al's exaggerating, but I'm not. I'll text it to you later. But seriously, 2 people were just sitting in the middle of the street, and there's people pushing carts, and there's all the people that refuse to walk on little scooters, and then there's people in triple wide strollers, and these people are like, we're just gonna. I'll take over. I don't care. There's people just like, okay.
Al's 18-minute review of Disney World.
I was there for 4 days, man. 4 very long days. Anyway. So, yeah.
So was it good?
If you like root canals. No, it was good to see my family. That's about it.
Cool.
That's good. Glad you got to see him.
Yeah.
What's going on in the movie world?
Bunch of crap. Let's see.
Crap.
More crap.
Nothing good. No. So last time we had a show, 2 weeks ago, we talked about Movie Pass coming back. I think that was 2 weeks ago that we talked about that. And you know how I always go on.
You just sent us this picture of these people like sitting down the street taking a picture. I hope somebody else took a picture of you taking a picture of them.
I hope so. Very much. I was like, nobody's gonna believe me. Everybody's gonna think I'm just a jerk. Everybody's gonna think I'm making this up and exaggerating this point. I was like, so, yeah, no, and that was right on Main Street, by the way. But no, you know how I always talk about that there needs to be tier pricing, good times. Yes. There needs to be tiered pricing at theaters. Maybe how popular the movie is. Maybe if it's not that popular, take the price down a little bit. If it's a little more popular, take the price up. Well, one company has been watching our show.
Who is it?
Cinemark, the theater company nobody goes to. I don't know if anybody goes to Cinemark anymore. They are going to do kind of tiered pricing. Now, this means that superhero movies could be a lot more. This means they could be a lot less. This was already
happening with Batman.
Yeah, it is.
They're testing it out, so to speak. And so this could be all over the place. So this is kind of like how a bunch of years ago Radiohead released In Rainbows for whatever you wanted to pay for it. I think it was 11, 12 years ago. And you could pay for whatever you wanted to pay for it. And that made everybody really like Radiohead. And they actually ended up paying more than the album would have been on the shelf because they appreciated that. A lot of people. Some people did take it for free. Some people did buy it for $1, but the great majority of people bought it for a lot more. So how do you guys feel about this? Like if you had to go, like let's say that Cinemark was the only theater within reason of you going to see the movies, the underwear movies. So if you guys were going, would you pay if they said, "Hey, this movie is going to be a big one. We're going to charge $35 a ticket." Would you pay?
$35 probably no, but I don't really care if it's like a small number or a small change bump up.
So I think average price is what, $12-15, right? For
for
normal
Atlanta-ish, it's more like, I don't know, probably like 16 to 18 or so.
Yeah, I just paid 12 to go see the Batman in GTX. So that's, not IMAX or anything. IMAX is roughly 20 plus, right? So depending on where you go,
over 20.
Were they?
AMC has jumped on it since this is an article from.
So many people have been watching our show. Mm-hmm. I get it.
Yeah, I think AMC has jumped on it, and they've actually, I think they're doing this for the Batman. I think it's like $1 more than their normal prices.
Yeah,
I think that's what I saw.
So, but if this does work, that means that it'll be astronomical at some point to go. And that's to Brandon's point that he always says it'll have to be like a kind of like a night at the opera kind of experience.
Well, I mean, that's not an original thought on my end. It's something that George Lucas and Spielberg were talking about over a decade ago. They kind of what they saw as the future of cinema. But yeah, I mean, you can kind of see it coming to fruition with decisions like this. And then, we talked about the movie pass thing where seemingly they were going to do a tiered thing as well, where you have you buy a certain number of points essentially, or credits, and then you use those credits, and different movies cost different amount of credits. That's the way I interpreted it, but similar concept. Yeah, so
I would not be happy that they're charging more for the Shones movies. They definitely wouldn't be charging more for my movies. I don't believe. I think they'd be begging people to come in and watch them.
Somebody please.
Somebody watch this crap, please. Oh my god. Yeah. No.
I do think that's. I mean, especially that's what I kind of talked about when we were talking about when we had Movie Pass. Like it was an incentive to check out more indie movies, more smaller movies, because you're already paying for the service. And I think if they kind of were gonna use that in to the other side, like have smaller movies cost less than they. I don't know that. I don't see them doing less than they charge currently, but maybe they will. Have them just to get more eyes in there. But we'll see.
Tony said he would pay, but he usually goes to the 10:30 a.m. show during the week and like 4 p.m. or whatever on Saturday. I don't remember what he said, but no. But yeah, he'll pay depending. See the 10:30 a.m. show on Saturday or the Tuesday 4 p.m. show when it is cheaper. Yeah, they do a cheaper show around me as well on Tuesdays. They do like $6 Tuesdays or something like that. And that's any movie you want to see. It's something like that. I have not taken them up on that just yet, but those are good deals.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure there are more people than not, and those people being, movies are usually geared towards younger audiences because they're the ones willing to pay, where they don't have real bills and stuff like that, and they're not old curmudgeons like me where I'm like, the ROI isn't there, stuff like that. So that's not happening in their head. So they're just out for a good time. So I think that for certain movies they will do it. But hey, maybe I get $2 movies. That'd be great. But another group that's going to start doing like a movie pass type deal, since you mentioned movie pass, is Alamo Drafthouse, which we did mention last time that they are building some more Alamos So Drafthouse theaters, not more Alamos. So they have a $16.99 big boat plan is good for one movie per day in El Paso and Lubbock, and it can be used to attain a $5 discount off the price of tickets at other locations nationwide. The $19.99 bigger boat plan covers those two cities along with Austin, Charlottesville, Corpus Christi, Dallas, Fort Worth, Denver area, Houston, Laredo, which is opening soon, Northern Virginia, Omaha, Raleigh, San Antonio, Springfield, and Twin Cities, which is coming soon, Winchester's coming soon, and Yonkers. It will also get you $10 discount at other locations. Finally, the $30
the article.
biggest. I'm telling everybody, that's what people want to know. This stuff. People, $30 gets you the biggest boat plan, and it's good for anywhere.
It's like an ad read on a radio station. $30
for anywhere.
gets you
$100 for a gallon jug.
So, and underneath this story, it's like, they have the recommended stories. The story on here is celebrities who farted on live TV. That's the story. Why is that a story? I gotta read this. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, they have three tiers of the plan. So I don't know. If there were an Alamo Drafthouse near me, I would definitely pay a little bit.
We'll have to get some feedback from Nani and Dave and whoever else is in the Tejas area.
Yeah.
Because we don't have those.
They were gonna make one here, and then they didn't.
Ryan, we already talked about this. Seriously, you showed up to the show.
Just read the article again, Al.
Yeah. Okay. So what happened was, I have a feeling you guys would pay if there was one near us. Maybe not the full 30, which is the biggest boat plan, which is where you can use it anywhere.
I can't even.
I don't hear me earlier.
I just wouldn't take advantage of it. I don't think right now at this season of life for me.
Yeah.
I just don't have the time to get out. Perfect time to start a movie podcast when you can't really have time to see new movies in theaters, but it's the event ones that I have to try and wheel and deal and line up babysitters and that kind of thing. So it's got to be a big popular thing for me to be able to get out and go see it typically. So a subscription is not really something that I can really take full advantage of. Not just yet. One day though, if there's still movies.
Yeah, I don't know if there will be. We're going. Jeez. Whew. Started. That's right.
The end.
It is terrible. Ryan, would you pay if you had an Alamo near you?
Depends on how close it is. It would be.
Oh my God! In this scenario, let's say it's 5 miles from your house.
Yeah.
Okay. God,
if it's on the other side of town where they were going to build the other one, no.
If it's where I got to drive to it, But if I can see it driving to the grocery store,
he has the same outlook on concerts. It's not in his backyard. He's like, I don't know. I can't do it.
Whatever, country boys. This is Atlanta.
No, it's Smyrna.
Yeah. Atlanta adjacent.
On the other side of the city, you'd be going through the city.
He's like, I've got the Braves now. I'm in the city. Yeah, no, I think I would pay. I don't know if $30 seems pretty steep.
29, 28,
yeah,
27.
I think 20.
What about 26?
You can keep going till you get 25. To $19.99. I'll do the bigger boat plan. The bigger boat plan. So, Ryan, I have some good news for you. I hadn't heard about, but I'll look out for it. There you go. See, out in Texas. Now, aren't you glad I read out all the different deals of the different tiers?
We could have just DM'd him the article, but
I mean, instead we could say it on a show. It's like that'd be like watching the news and be like, yeah, some stuff happened. You'll figure it out. Like we should tell people what's going on. Ryan, we're somewhat looking forward to, interested in, maybe is a better way.
The draft house is about 5 mics from me.
See, so he's got the scenario I was talking about. So yeah, Halloween ends.
Got 5 buddies named Mike. He's got to go by all their houses to get there. Hey, Mike. Headed to the draft house.
Hey, Mike 1.
Hey, Mike.
Mike 3.
He just has a hayride and he picks them all up along the way. John Carpenter says Halloween Ends is pretty definitive. They really want it to end. Quote.
Yeah, well.
Let me read the whole quote. I'm just kidding. Yeah, if they smell money in the water, they'll come back.
No way that, yeah, it's gonna
yeah. I still believe they're going to
big
come
of
out
an
with a
IP.
TV show called Haddonfield, and it's going to be like, Michael Myers isn't going to be there, but it's going to be like, this is our town after
every
such a-"
episode's gonna start with that like
yeah, like, and it's going to be like the OC or whatever type show, and it's just going to be a bunch of like teenage drama. They're going to be like, my mom was killed by Michael Myers. We can all bond over this.
Be a spinoff about a homeboy from
It'll be the prequel for Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah.
Just watch him grow
Evil
up.
dies today.
Oh, dude, if you had said tonight, I'd been on board. I'm telling you, they're gonna come on a show called Haddonfield, and so yeah, Michael Myers might die, but they're not gonna let money go away.
And then they'll still bring it back. No matter what.
Still, it's one thing about the Batman. I really like the score. I was thinking, this would be a good listen while I'm putting together some puzzles.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get a good vinyl of that. So, but
hopefully the cover art's good and doesn't feature the Batman.
Y'all's comments on that were the people that were commenting on your shows. I was like,
it was totally expected. Everybody loves it.
Did they put a movie in a plastic bag or something? Like, what happened?
Thanks for showing me how to open a plastic bag.
It's wasting my time. I was like, okay. Still one of the funniest comments I've ever read. But anyway, I just don't feel, it's money. Hollywood's desperate.
Just look no further than the history of this franchise. You don't even have to.
Yeah, no joke. I mean, good Lord, H2O is a great example. Halloween 5.
I'm sure it will probably be the end of this continuity. At some point, they'll do some sort of
the multiverse of Michael Myers
reboot down the line.
Whoa, did you see it? Michael Myers, they had 5 different Michael Myers.
Yeah, but then they'll bring in 5 different masks. Jamie Lee Curtis will be gone, but then they'll bring in the new young chick when she's older.
Thank God, Jamie Lee. If I have to hear her talk about these movies anymore, I'm gonna throw up. Seriously. She is so annoying. Like, we did it way before that group did it. It's like, shut up. It's like, but yeah, movie franchises that they are banking on making money. Indiana Jones 5 has wrapped, fellas, apparently. So,
joy.
Brandon, you better start watching the first 3.
Yeah, I'll just, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go in.
Go in blind, bro.
One.
Yeah,
because it's like
continuation.
I really hope in this one
probably picks up right after the aliens are revealed. So
I think that's like the 2016 Ghostbusters movie. They don't even put it in the set. I have a feeling. Like,
No, they do.
I'm saying after this one, like the movie,
The new set
is like that. They see us coming a mile away. They're like, yeah, we can get them to buy it again, just like The Godfather. Like here, buy it again. So,
that's the way it goes. Well, when is it releasing? It's like it's this year, right? Is it this year?
That's the rumor. It's supposed to be. No, it's going to be next year. For blah blah blah. Here's Ford's legendary. Blah blah blah. June 30th, 2023.
Oh, okay. So I got some time.
Honestly, this is one that I love Harrison Ford, but this is one that I really don't have any excitement for.
I'm excited because James Mangold's directing it, and having it in a new director's hands could be a good jolt to the franchise after the last entry. And I like his movies.
I mean, Halloween 3 sequel. Yeah, Halloween 3 is a total departure.
This is true.
That's one another reason that, because John Carpenter never intended Michael Myers to be in all the movies. That's why it's Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2, is so crazy. Like the whole thing about Jamie Lee Curtis being his sister and everything. That was like John Carpenter writing while he was really drunk, and he was like, "Whatever." That's the truth. he said this. So it was writing while he was drunk, and he just didn't have anything. So it was like, "It's his sister." So like, eat that.
Drunkenly creating IP for the next 50 years.
And then they erase it.
That's how you fall into something.
Yeah. And they retcon everything. We're starting over. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm excited about Indiana. I mean, I'll watch it. I want to see it, but I can't say I'm excited about it. At this point, Harrison Ford's going to need a running stunt double just to run. He's extremely old.
I'm sure he will.
But I mean, he's worth so much money. It's ridiculous. Like he is the star of the 80s and 90s, and now of all the movies, all of his movies, they've gone back and added to the lore. So we'll see what happens, but I don't know. From some of the story angles I've heard about, I'm not excited about it either. So
yeah, I'm excited about it too.
Yeah. One thing I know, myself, maybe Chris, and maybe some of you folks, I know Tony's going to be excited about this. Tony, listen up, buddy. Escape from New York is getting an extra special. So this is going to be, it looks like a Shout Factory, because this looks like what they did for Halloween. I'll be ordering this because I was bummed I didn't order, but there's going to come a 7-inch vinyl. Looks pretty awesome. I'll be pre-ordering this because Tony got the Shout Factory Halloween set with all the vinyl and everything, and the pins and all the other stuff, and totally jealous. So I'll be getting this for sure. You got yours ordered. I don't know why I even guessed that we were gonna bring back Shia for Indiana Jones.
Brandon's keeping his fingers crossed.
Yep.
I don't know. I think he has a court date that day. He's working out in jeans, according to Ryan. So
skinny jeans.
He skis in his jeans.
He skis in his jeans.
Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, I know you guys probably won't be buying this, but I'll be buying this. This is a John Carpenter flick. And that's the cool thing about John Carpenter movies, his earlier stuff, is that they're really giving them good treatments right now. So really excited about that. I want to take the plunge and buy the John Carpenter Lost Tracks albums, but I haven't found the right variant just yet. I almost bought the Halloween soundtrack again the other day at Comeback, because they had a glow in the dark version. I was like, I already got the candy corn. I should get the glow in the dark as well. But I was like, it's a little excessive.
Tony's rubbing off on you.
Well, good influence is what I say. Thanks for the influence, Tony. Yeah. So, but I do have some good news. Maybe this could be one of those sequels that's a little too late. I don't know.
It's gonna be too late.
Beetlejuice 2.
Calling it.
Early development at Brad Pitt's Plan B production company. I don't know. Did you guys watch? Oh, I did watch The Kingsman.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it in theaters as well.
I did watch that. I'll talk about it in a little bit. Ryan, I kind of feel where you're going. I'm kind of in between here. Brandon, I know.
I mean, Beetlejuice 2 has been like
in production hell for a long time.
Seemingly something that they've talked about forever. But I love the first one. I just recently watched it a couple times with Luna.
I don't think I've ever met anybody who didn't like Beetlejuice. And if they did, they're wrong.
I shot him. Yeah,
so,
that's where I fell in love with Winona Ryder. That's how
how's that going?
No.
Still a thing?
I still like Winona Ryder.
She got busy with Stranger Things. And,
Yeah, I watched anything with Winona Ryder when I was a kid, and I'm glad I did because I saw The Heathers. I saw all sorts of good movies because I followed her out of my young lust. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think this will actually end up being made, to be honest with you. I just don't think they're ever going to have a story that's worthy of bringing this back. And I don't see Michael Keaton Mermaids with Cher. Loved that movie. Yes. There was another one, Roxy Carmichael Goes to Town or something. I can't remember. Anyway, I think it was about a politician. Anyway, I watched it just because of her. And then the Three Little Women, watched that because of her. Bunch of stuff. So,
well, it didn't say that Burton was directing, which it is in pre-production. So they just could not be at a point to
Michael Keaton right now. But it's just like,
yeah.
All right, let's go back. Everything I've ever done successful.
Do Harrison Ford.
Back in.
They're gonna do Mr. Mom too. They're gonna do what was the movie he did? Oh man, what was that movie? He did it. He was in a loony bin, and it was Christopher Lloyd, and a few others, and they get out for the day to go watch a baseball game. They just want to go see a baseball game, and they witness a crime, and they have to remove themselves. As a comedy. Do you guys remember that movie? I'm worried they're going to screw it up. I'm worried they're going to screw it up too.
Is it The Dream Team?
Lucas. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, The Dream Team. Man, I used to watch that movie on repeat. I loved that movie so much. There was one guy that he just kind of would mutter the commentators' words from the baseball games and stuff. That's how he spoke and everything. I thought that movie was brilliant. And of course, Batman. So,
well, he's coming back. So,
yeah,
So,
you're happy about it. So, anyway, all right. You guys want to talk about what Ryan's been watching all week with some trailers?
Right. Yeah, Ryan.
Let's talk about those trailers. Ryan, why don't you introduce all the trailers?
Okay, Hustle. This is
cool.
a trailer.
Yeah.
What'd you think about
Adam Sandler in it. It's a basketball player from Europe. Yeah, actually did see this trailer, by the way.
Oh, how about that?
Interesting.
Actually, you know what? I'm looking at this list now. I saw everything but Cliff Beast 6.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
That's why I'm the only one that watched it.
Do I?
There's a reason it's on there.
I know it's like people are talking about it being like a goofy spoof thing, right?
Well, we'll get to it.
So Hustle. Okay. Yeah, I saw this one. I saw this one weeks ago.
Yeah. It was supposed to be on last week's.
Doesn't really interest me, to be honest with
Let
you.
me just run through my my criteria for sports movies. Is it comedic? And is Kevin Costner in it? The answer is both no. So no, I'm not interested.
Well, you never know. Kevin Costner could make an appearance as like the mascot.
That's true, Al. That's true.
He's pretty hard up for cash. Yeah. So Brandon, is this something?
I mean, I like Adam Sandler, and I do like his more serious stuff that he's done as of late. So it's on Netflix, so it's super accessible. I thought the trailer looked, decent, but it's not something I'm chomping at the bit to see.
Yeah, the Netflix thing gives me pause. Their movies just, I've said it plenty of times. I don't need to say it again. But all right. So next we have The Atom Project.
This is a second trailer that they just put out because it's about to come out on Netflix next week. Yeah. Now, I didn't watch this trailer because I watched the first one, heard tons of hype about the movie because it's screened a few weeks ago for critics. And it's Sean Levy, who I've talked about before, and I like a lot of his stuff. He's a big he's kind of skirting that like line between like mid-teen to kid-friendly, like Emblem type genre from the days of old. He's heavily involved in Stranger Things, and he's done he did Real Steel, big hit in my family, as I've talked about with my dad. And recently Free Guy, and then this. And so I dig his sensibilities, and this is another Ryan Reynolds team up for him coming off of Free Guy, which I'll actually watch that this week. I'll talk about it in a little bit, but yeah, so I'm excited. I've heard lots of the kind of things that I've heard coming out of the critic screenings are things that I'm into. And the first trailer looked cool. I like the concept, or at least the premise. So yeah, I'm excited about it. So therefore, I didn't watch this trailer just because it's so close, and I'm already sold.
Ryan's excited about it too.
I'll watch it. I wouldn't say I'm excited about it, but it's super easily accessible, so I'll check it out.
Yeah, I have no interest personally, but no surprise there. Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore.
Katie is all in on this movie all of a sudden. She's a huge book nerd.
Okay.
So has not enjoyed either of the first two of these.
Saw the first one.
She saw the trailer for this one recently.
Yeah.
And
it definitely looks more in line with the things that people like with Potter.
Yeah.
And I think that's very intentional. I think that they saw that they were kind of losing people's interest with the first two in this franchise. And so they're like kind of did a pivot to try and pump some more Hogwarts in there.
She asked the other day, she's like, so is it too early to get tickets for Fantastic Beasts? I was like, good Lord, girl.
I don't think you're gonna have trouble getting tickets. Yeah. I'm fine with where Harry Potter left off. I don't need to watch this personally. I didn't like the first of these, and that turned me off from even wanting to give any of the rest of them a chance personally.
I haven't returned to the first one since theaters, and I've only seen I guess I've only seen both of them.
So not this week, but 2 weeks ago, it would have been on the list for last week's show, I guess. We watched these, and the first one, I hadn't seen the first one in forever, and I only saw the second one once in theaters. The first one has actually aged pretty well for me. I enjoyed watching it. The second one is still not good. Like,
it was a mistake doing taking Colin Farrell out.
Yeah, I agree. Katie also agrees with you.
Regardless of the politics behind Johnny Depp, I think they just should have kept Colin Farrell as a throughput, like just mainstay character. As far as
now he's got a third appearance.
Now a third one. I mean, luckily for them, they can kind of make it part of the story that he's changing appearance from movie to movie because he can. So I guess that's convenient, but
yeah.
And I do like Mads Mikkelsen, so it's not like
I agree. Yeah,
it's a bad choice for the casting, but my expectations are low. Maybe I'll enjoy it, but after the first two in the franchise, I doubt I'll see this in theaters. It'll probably be a home watch. So too bad WB's abandoned their day and date with HBO Max.
So you want to go to the April Fool's movie?
Well, the Cliff Beast thing is just it seemingly is like what the trailers in front of Tropic Thunder are. Like they're making a movie within a movie type,
world.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So it could be fun. It's supposed to be a comedy. It's supposed to be just outlandish, spoof type movie. So
it's not a real movie, I thought.
I
read an article saying
I think it is.
It says, unsurprisingly, Cliff Beast 6 is not a real movie. Aside from that, I suggest a proposed release date. There have been no previous entries in the Cliff Beast saga, blah, blah, blah. While it's possible that the series is taking a leaf out of Star Wars, so on and so forth. But they're saying this is an April Fool's joke.
Well, they got me. If that's the
case. Brent's like, this looks great.
I'm in.
I'm in, man. I really like what they've done.
Great.
Oh man,
that's an expensive April Fool's joke. If that's the case,
it's marketing.
Yeah, but they really got you.
Yeah, they got you.
You put it in our trailers.
Yeah. I sure hope that's not a real movie. Oh boy.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
We'll see.
Oh, April 1st. You didn't realize the release date was April 1st?
No, but so is like Morbius is coming out April 1st, so I didn't.
That makes sense. Too. That's probably an April Fool's joke. That movie's gonna get pushed back again.
That looks terrible. That looks absolutely awful. Yeah, he sent somebody's ear in a box to somebody.
Different movie.
I know, but I'm just saying he's the method actor. All right, Bullet Train. I saw this last week or over the weekend while I was at Disney. I saw it watching a YouTube video. This looks awful to me.
Really?
Absolutely awful. This looks just like a pile of garbage. On this one. Huh?
Yeah.
I'm totally in on this one. It'll be fun.
It looks really stupid. It looks so bad. And then Brad Pitt comes in on that new trailer. It was in front of Batman, the new Sandra Bullock movie with muscles and ears. What's his name?
Channing Tatum.
Magic Mike guy.
Channing Tatum.
Yeah. He comes in there too. So I guess he's just doing silly movies right now. But yeah, I saw this the other day. I almost sent this to you guys. I was like, man, this just looks terrible. This is like the worst movie I've seen in a long time. And that Sandra Bullock movie looks awful.
I'm actually interested in that one too.
It looks awful. Yeah, I was glad nobody clapped in the movie theater, but that was I was like, oh, that looks dumb. So I don't know. I know this is the guy that did what, Deadpool 2 or something, right?
Well, he was one of the co-directors for the first John Wick, and then they kind of separated and started doing their own stuff. So, but yeah, he did move to Deadpool 2, and he's kind of ghost directed a few things. But yeah, this is another obviously very popular these days. It's John Wick, but this element, like we've seen from a lot of other movies, like Nobody and what was the like Gunpowder Milkshake and all these other ones that are trying to kind of capitalize on that. But he is kind of one of the originators of that. So, and I think he's got a good sensibility for that like gun fu type stuff that they kind of, I guess, I don't know if they pioneered it, but they became very popular because of it. And it's got a good cast. Some of the cast hasn't been featured in this trailer, but like Michael Shannon's in it.
Yeah,
obviously
I saw him. He had longer hair, right, in the trailer.
Yeah, I think
he's in there for just a split second.
I think the girl from
Aaron Taylor Johnson's in there at the end.
Aaron Taylor Johnson is in it, and Zazie Beetz, who was also in
Deadpool
in Deadpool 2, and
Joker,
and then Karen Fukuhara, who was in Suicide Squad, but kind of shined a little more in The Boys.
Yeah. So
she has in this trailer, she's not in it much.
Hashtag release the Erica. Am I right?
Yeah. But I thought the trailer looked fun. So
is this a Netflix movie?
I don't think so.
It looked like a Netflix movie.
It reminded me a lot of it's like it has not like the dystopian sensibilities that Snowpiercer had, but it reminded me a lot of that without that element. Like it's going to take place on this train going from cart to cart.
I mean, I like Brad Pitt just fine, but this looks like a stinker. I don't know. I thought it was a
April Fool's joke.
I did think it was like a faux trailer. I thought it was going to be something else. I thought it was like going to be a movie within a movie at first. And then I was like, oh, this is real. And then I was like, this looks like a movie that was made for any like foreign audiences, like a Chinese audience, not an American audience to me. Just like the titles and everything looked very half-baked.
Gotcha.
But anyways.
Yeah, well, I'm excited about it too. Dot drop.
I don't know. What was that? I did watch an extended trailer of The Northman. I am looking forward to that now. I wasn't at first, but now I am. It has Bjork in it. I found that out. That's pretty cool. And it didn't look like it gave me Troy vibes at first, and that movie was awful. And so I was like, oh no. But then I watched the trailer. I watched an extended trailer, and it was pretty good. So I was not so high on that, but yeah, I am now. Looking forward to it. I will say this though, not everybody in that movie, in the trailer anyway, like looks like they're of that era, like of that generation. They look like they're somebody of today trying to look like they're of that era. Like, so that kind of takes me out of movies sometimes, but I still look forward to seeing it. So, yeah. Any physical media purchases?
Not for myself. I don't think.
I have a couple. I'm going to put them up on social, and that way I can sample them more than just put them up on screen. So, couple of the Vignale.
Nice. Hide them behind that social follow. I like it.
So, Ryan, you want to tell everybody where they can find us?
Are we doing that now?
Yeah.
All right. Just in the middle of the episode.
Yeah. Why not?
All right. Hit the subscribe button. You're on YouTube. Notification bells. You can stay up to date on all the videos we're putting out. We are on Instagram at CiNEMACHiNE. And we have a Patreon, patreon.com/CiNEMACHiNE. Appreciate all the support we get there.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm going to start putting my physical media over on social, over on Instagrams. I I did a fake unboxing on there, and people thought it was real. I was doing a joke unboxing, and people were like, "Oh yeah, that's great." I don't know if people think I'm just like desperate or whatever now. Anyway, all right, we got a couple movies coming out this week, as we all know. Oh no, we got to talk about what we haven't watched, what we've been watching this week.
What we haven't watched.
What we haven't watched. I haven't watched anything. I did. Okay, so I did watch, and I didn't tell Brandon this, but I did watch the Kingsman. Is it called the Kingsman or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
I did watch that. Ryan, what'd you think about that movie?
It's very forgettable for me.
Yeah,
It's my least favorite of the three so far.
I forgot that I watched it. I thought the Rasputin stuff was a little stupid.
Yeah, it was goofy.
And I'm not the biggest fan of that actor that played Rasputin. And I don't know. I thought a lot of it was just a waste. Like they were trying to build a story where a story wasn't. And I won't spoil anything for anybody. But I went back and looked at the history of Rasputin, and none of the stuff that they came up with for his character was proven in history. So,
I mean, that was kind of like the thing with him, though. Like he was a mystic.
He was a sexual
Everybody was
deviant.
like,
He was,
yeah,
yeah.
but like he was also like nobody. He's like a witch, basically. Like he's always about him.
Yeah. But anyway, I'll let everybody watch the movie. It's on Hulu. It's I would say there are parts of it that are.
I think it's on Hulu and HBO Max.
Yeah.
It's a few movies that are that way right now.
So whatever gang you're with, represent. I watched it on Hulu. Sorry. There were parts of it that were good. The performance of the female in the movie, I don't know if she's a maid, but she's also an agent of the Kingsman.
I just remember her from the Bond films.
Yeah, she was good in this. She was the standout for me personally. But most of it was just kind of like, really? It was just kind of hokey. It didn't have the same excitement behind it as the first two. So, especially the first one was the best still. The second one was pretty good. And then this one was just, like you said, forgettable, I think is a very good way to describe this one. So,
yeah, I went and saw that one in theaters, and I may have even forgotten to mention that I saw it.
That's why I didn't tell Brandon, because I forgot I watched it. I watched it before last week's episode and totally forgot. Now, Ryan, you missed out on me talking about movies that I watched a couple weeks ago. I watched a movie.
That's a shame.
I know. I watched a movie called
He can
Rubber.
go back and watch the episode.
A movie called Rubber about a tire that kills people.
Not again.
Yeah. So I think you should watch it. Anyway, what have you guys been watching, Brandon?
Wait, what's the movie called?
Rubber.
Rubber? Gotcha.
Yeah, it's about a tire that kills people with telekinetic powers.
Oh boy.
Yep. That's
Sorry,
the
man.
one. That's it. That's the big one.
I also watched Hobo with a Shotgun, which I would highly suggest you see, Ryan.
Actually, I've heard of that one.
They're both on HBO Max Plus, whatever. What's it called? HBO Plus Max, whatever.
Max.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Max.
They're all
HBO
pluses. I don't know.
HBO
Plus
plus Max.
plus.
It's
Max.
HBO Max Plus. It's not TV. It's HBO. That's the whole
Good.
tagline.
End on a high note. Get a high note real quick. All right, go ahead. What were you watching?
I think I forgot to make graphics for my two that I did write down. It seems.
Hey guys, we took a week off. I mean, anyway, just talk about it, man. Let's just not know, man.
Yeah, Ryan.
Ryan's like, I watch trailers for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Ryan, you watched something that you were going to talk about a few weeks ago before your house imploded.
Yeah.
My house flooded.
Tell your
That we had kind of teased. You watched Pam and Tommy, or you were watching it. I don't know if you finished it.
Yeah, we are caught up on it. Maybe,
So it's weekly.
maybe not this. Yeah, so they released a handful the first week, and then it's been weekly since. The show's great. It's really entertaining. It wasn't one that I think I even mentioned on the show, one that I was like super interested in, but we were just kind of bored one day, and it was on there, and we started watching it and got hooked.
Nice.
Seth Rogen's character is good. I actually enjoyed both of them. For some reason, I was thinking that
Nick Offerman. Nick Offerman is the other guy.
No, I mean Pam and Tommy.
Oh, okay. Well, you said Seth Rogen, so I thought you were talking about.
Gotcha. No. For some reason, I was thinking that I was not gonna like Sebastian Stan is, yeah, but actually really do. he makes you very angry to start this show. Like really angry. You love it, Al.
Yeah. I heard parts of his body talk to you.
Yes, they do.
Isn't that Jason Mantzoukas that does the voice?
Yeah. It's the scene like comes out of nowhere, dude. It's pretty wild.
Nice.
But I do recommend checking this one out, and I would not have expected to say that.
Cool. Well, that's cool. Well, I guess you also had another one that I talked about a couple weeks ago that you said you ended up watching some of it.
Yeah, this movie is what's the movie that I don't like? Vista Del Mar.
Mm-hmm.
Part 2.
Oh boy.
Barb and Star.
Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar. I can't handle the accents in this movie. Can't do it. Katie and I we started watching this movie, and it's not that they're bad performances. She's great. Andrew Garfield's all right. But it's just one of, like every once in a while you start a movie and like you get distracted or something happens. You're like, all right, we'll come back to it. Then you come back to it and kind of like fall off again and never actually finish it. That's what happened with this movie. And the accent thing did not help.
Gotcha.
I don't know what it is.
Finish it?
No, we only have like 10 minutes left too. We're just like, can't do it.
Oh,
That's too bad.
Yeah, I know. Have you guys seen
Ready Player One? Yes.
Yeah.
I did see that. Saw that. I think saw that with you, Brandon, right? In the theater.
Possibly. That must have been when we used to see movies together.
Yeah.
That's one that
this is a long time ago.
Surprisingly, Katie's like, it's very rewatchable for her. She really enjoys that movie.
Yeah, I did like it. I didn't read the book, so I didn't, and I think it's a pretty big departure, and probably a lot because of rights and things like that.
Okay, Dave, what'd you think? I want to know what you thought about Robert and Hobo with a Shotgun. And if you've unsubscribed and
he's back, so maybe he just came back just to like rip you a new one for making him watch this.
Might have.
He's out.
I get it. Yeah, so
Ready Player One, I assume is what he's talking about.
what's up, default?
Yeah.
Dan, Brit.
Oh, Brit. What's up, Brit?
You need a new avatar there, buddy.
Yeah, no, he's sans beard now.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Do what you want to do, Brit. No, I don't remember. I don't remember much about Ready Player One. I don't think I liked it much. I can't remember.
You just assume. I don't think I liked it.
Well, if I can't remember much about it, I just don't think I don't know. It just seemed like overkill. Ryan, if you watch them both back to back, you might need therapy.
I'm trying to avoid following Al's footsteps with his therapy history.
They're good.
There's no way you grew that thing back out the way that it was before by now. No way.
It's a little seedling.
I need evidence. I need a picture.
Text is on its way, apparently. So, yes. Brandon, what have you been watching?
I think Ryan's got a few more.
Oh, sorry.
I don't have to go through all mine if you don't.
Not do it.
Katie and I watched this last week. Inventing Anna. Man, Al, this would drive you nuts. There's no way you'd be able to finish this show. It would make you too mad.
I couldn't finish the trailer.
Brandon, I would be really interested to see what you think of this show.
Why do you think it would drive me crazy? Just
because
interested.
Of the millennialness of it.
Oh yeah.
This is. I told Katie we watched this show. We got to the end and finished the last episode, and I was like, "This show makes me." We finished. I was like, "This show makes me so mad. I don't know why this show made me so mad." She's like, "I don't know." We got up the next morning, and I was like in the kitchen eating breakfast, and I was like, "Katie, I'm still mad about that show." She's like, "You gotta let it go."
You sound like Al.
Yeah.
Watch Hobo with a shotgun and it'll make you happy. Hey, Nani
G is in the house.
It's all okay.
Right, we've got evidence here, so let's
check the text.
Oh my goodness, it is back. Incredible.
He just sent you an old picture.
Yeah. I'll check that timestamp out.
Britt's beard is like Brandon watching RoboCop. Says it happened. But we know better.
But yeah, Brandon, is that one that you're muted, by the way?
So it's you were gonna ask is it one that it's on my list or something?
Yeah, I know your list, but yeah.
Not really.
Gotcha.
Melissa's parents watched it recently. And then you've watched it, and that's really all the only people that I've heard.
The only reason I checked it out was because
Ozark.
Yeah, Garner. I think that's her name, right? Something Garner or Julia or
Judy.
It says it on the poster if you want to pop that back up there. But anyway,
let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who's right?
Julia Garner.
Julia.
There you go.
Julia.
But yeah,
cool.
Watch that one. We watched Transformers. I haven't seen. This is kind of one of those.
You're just all over the place emotionally, right?
I know. This show is like. I know.
My house is flooding. I've got to watch Transformers.
Al always talks about his warm blanket movies. This is kind of one of those for me. It's just like something I can just have on. Like I don't have to. Nothing that's like. You got to really like sit down and put a lot of effort into watching. It's one that I really enjoyed when it came out. I've always enjoyed watching it. I love Shia in this movie. He's great. And I actually watched this with my little girl, and she was like, she's never like watched anything, like really actually watched anything on TV before. For some reason, like that, like sound that they do, like
noises and colors.
So she was like locked in the whole time watching this thing. It's pretty funny.
Nice. Enjoyed it and didn't think it was. What did you enjoy, the show or Transformers or a hobo with a shotgun
or Inventing Anna
or Rubber?
Yeah.
Yeah. We watched this not too long ago.
I need
Luna.
therapy. Well, I hope you get it, buddy. Watch Transformers.
Hope she doesn't quit on you.
I hope Transformers helps you like it does Ryan.
But I know, Brandon, you're a fan of this one.
Yeah, I like this one. It's the best out of the ones that Michael Bay did. And I like Bumblebee too. I mean, I enjoyed the third one. I don't really like the second one. But and the rest of them are kind of a wash after that.
Sure.
I don't know that I've ever seen a full Transformers.
After Shia bowed out, I was kind of
guys
checked out on him.
I think we found a Transformer.
Yeah. Hey guys. I was laughing every time there was a chase sequence with Shia going, no.
Yeah. I love that compilation. Hilarious.
Breaking news.
It's a good one though.
I think I enjoyed Hobo more than Rubber, but I actually watched Rubber two. You do need therapy if you watch Rubber 2 times. Hobo with a Shotgun is just a blast. No pun intended. It is a silly movie. Yes. Now go watch Turbo Kid. Turbo Kid is a follow up to Hobo with a Shotgun. Anyway, please continue.
I don't.
First Transformer is a lot of fun. G says.
Yeah,
this is true.
I enjoy it.
I honestly don't think I've seen a full Transformers.
That's like
movie.
the least shocking thing you could say.
I think,
on this show
and I'm not trying to say it. I'm just trying to remember if I have. I think I saw some of one of them. It was all I remember, and it might have just been a trailer because all I can remember is there was a car hood open and Megan Fox was standing there with the lid open, and then,
that's a lot. That's a lot of what most guys could remember when this movie came out.
And then Shia LaBeouf. Oh, I remember. No, yeah,
Linkin Park song.
I don't remember.
Yes, the beginning of their downfall.
Hobo felt like an 80s movie. Yeah, he's very big into making his movies feel very 80s. Turbo Kid is straight up 80s movie. If you like silly movies with like funny bloody scenes in it where the blood is meant to be comedic, you'll love Turbo. And if you love 80s stuff, you'll love Turbo Kid.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is that all you got, Ryan?
Yes, sir.
Well, you can watch their episode of Cape Cast to watch their spoiler-free review of The Batman. I watched it.
Well, that's why I was going to save that to the end. If you want to,
I'm just saying
talk about that later.
That's
as far
fine.
As you seeing it.
That's fine. I was just saying that they should watch your review.
Thanks you.
And then read the comments because they're pretty.
Thanks
funny.
you.
You should read the comments. They're pretty funny.
Thanks you.
Well, 2 of them.
Yeah. Let's see. We watched. How do I do this? We watched The Last Duel not too long ago. I had to make this graphic just now.
You
so
allow
I'm
Melissa
sharing
in the
it a
room while you
different way.
watch 3 of your boyfriends in one movie?
Just one. Well, yeah, 2.
2.
And I really liked it. Now, I will say, and I said this going into this movie when the trailers were coming out, that I wished that Affleck and Damon weren't in it because they just kind of stuck out like a sore thumb for this period. Mm-hmm. Their performances were good, but it's hard in this type of movie to not see them for them. Sure. I think Driver and Jodie Comer definitely felt lived in, and their performances both were great. And like I said, all the performances were good. The directing was good. Story was good. It's a really cool angle that they take to tell the story. You basically see the story play out 3 different times from each person's perspective that's involved in this scandal. And it's got some good action. And yeah, like I said, it's one of the better Ridley Scott films that I've seen of his recent efforts as of late.
Mm. He was real mad when this thing didn't do well.
Yeah, he was.
He shook his fist in the middle of
It's one of those things, though. These movies historically, as of late, don't like these period pieces. don't typically do well. Like I don't even remember. Like the last one I saw was it The King with Timothy Olyphant?
I'm gonna throw this comment up because it makes me laugh. Bernie Mac was in Last Duel.
I assume this is Transformers that he's talking about.
I think Dave's about 10 minutes. Dave's on a 10-minute delay.
I would love it if you said Bernie Mac pops up in The Last Duel. I'm watching it tonight. That's all I'm saying.
He's back.
He's like, dang. Hobo with a shotgun.
But yeah. Yeah, I would recommend it. It was good.
Nice.
So it's on HBO Max.
I want to watch. We just haven't done it yet.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think you'll like it. And then I mentioned this earlier briefly, but we also watched Free Guy because it is also, I think it's on HBO Max and Disney Plus.
This is the first time I saw it.
Yeah, I didn't
Bernie
catch
Mac
it in
is
theaters.
dead. He is dead. That's sad.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Yep.
It just sounds like every time you mention a movie, it sounds like you would just watch Bernie Mac movies.
Yeah, we watched this with Luna, and I really like this movie. It was fun. I'm a gamer, so not to the extent that I used to be. Games, and I kind of grew up playing games, video games, and this one definitely has a lot of that kind of, lots of references. I mean, it is a video game, so it's obviously a lot of little like cool things that you pick up on from that culture. But I thought it was just really fun, and Ryan Reynolds is just great in pretty much anything that he does. He's definitely one note, but he nails that note for me. And so, and this is, like I said, this is a Sean Levy directed movie, and he's doing Adam Project
as well.
So, oh, nice. And Luna really enjoyed this. The climax with the dude guy towards the end when he starts using some of the little power up things. She was just like jumped out of the seat cheering. It was really, really funny to see.
Oh, she's one of those.
Yeah,
she claps at movies. Ugh.
Yeah,
it was worth it. I was not a huge. This one was also kind of forgettable for me. But I remember you. I did. Katie loved this movie. I will say that. I did love the lightsaber and
Captain America and Hulk.
Yeah,
all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it was funny.
Like, I just love the timing. They're like, all right, they own us now. We'll use that IP.
All right, Brandon, I'm going to prove your point here.
Okay. Yep. There you go. And it's true.
It's a good movie.
Great movie.
That's what Brandon says. I haven't seen it yet.
I thought we reviewed that one, didn't we?
Brandon did.
I didn't review it, but I talked about it.
Gotcha.
Reviewed it.
Yeah, Free Guy. Definitely check it out because it's fun. Luna wanted to watch it again the next day, so she's actually seen it 3 times now, I think. So
you were like, "Calm down, honey. It wasn't that fun."
So that's good.
So yeah,
good.
But Al, you
actually, I watched one other movie I didn't tell you about, The Mandibles. The same director. The same director as Rubber. I did watch that.
It's just such a man. The title was perfect.
That movie was terrible. I hated that movie. Every single second of that movie. I hated it. Great premise, but it was just so poorly.
I remember seeing the trailer and thinking it could be fun, but
yeah, I was hoping, but I know a lot of people think like I used to date a French girl a long time ago when I lived out in LA, and it's a very aggressive language. If you're around them long enough, it's not as romantic as people want to make it out to be. And I was having flashbacks of that during the movie because the whole movie's in French, which I'm fine with the movie being in French. but they were like
No, I'm not.
they were trying to make it like a slapstick comedy.
Brandon
and
can't even understand British.
yeah, yeah, right, yeah. So I don't know. I just the two main actors really just didn't do it for me. And the Fly though, the special effects for the Fly, I think they were practical effects. Really looked really, really good. So I'll say that.
Yeah.
What a question. What a convenient question.
Yes.
Without spoiler. Okay. So I watched The Batman just now a while ago. Without spoilers. I like the music. The score. I like that. I mean, I like the Nirvana song, but it didn't really go with the movie. And that when they tried to play it again, they played it in multiple parts.
Way to spoil that.
It doesn't really spoil anything.
Just kidding.
I thought that there were a couple performances that were good. I won't say who. And there were some that were just whatever. Nobody was like terrible. I wasn't distracted by like the bat suit or anything like you guys were.
Did you even look at it?
I saw the whole movie. It was in there. I did like how I won't say. But I don't know. It was okay. I mean, I did like it. I won't say that I loved it and want to watch it again immediately. It's far too long. I'll say that. It's far too long. I noticed myself I noticed myself checking my watch about an hour and a half in. And I was like, oh crap, I'm only halfway through this. Not that I dislike, there was a lot of fat in the movie. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
The makeup is like for Colin Farrell, and
pretty crazy. Yeah.
It's impressive.
And it moves well with this, it moved well with this face. That was the thing I was worried about.
Yeah, the tone of the movie I like the tone of the movie. Try not to spoil anything, so I'm choosing my words carefully.
I mean,
no, Dave hasn't
talked about it. We kind of talked about it in our review. There's not really a lot to spoil in this movie.
I mean, it's a detective movie. That's ultimately what it is, and that's what Batman is, the world's greatest detective. I really liked. There were some pieces of the movie even after 3 hours, they still don't button up those pieces of the movie. Like there were a few stories that they don't button up. Maybe one or two. I shouldn't say a few. And nobody clapped in my theater, so it was a good experience. I love the Batman. I am a Battinson.
There's nothing wrong with that movie. I'm not gonna hate on anybody for liking.
Listen,
I felt this had the Crow vibes a lot. This had very much.
I can see that.
The vibes of the Crow. Now the Crow was a lot cheesier. Now I like the Crow just fine. I was a big fan of the Crow when I was however old I was. I don't even remember what year. I think it came out in like 94 or something. So I was probably like 13, 14. But yeah, I that's the vibe I was getting this entire movie. And there were, Easter eggs all over the place that harken back to the old TV show and to all the different Batman movies and stuff like that. So I get that, whatever. I'll say this. I did like, and I won't spoil it, I did like the reveal of the Batmobile. I did like that.
The chase sequence was
probably my favorite part of the movie.
The chase sequence was good, and it's in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything.
I agree with you. That reveal of the Batmobile was my favorite part of the whole movie.
And then I felt like they used some of the set pieces a few too many times.
I told there's a bar that they go into a few times,
the twins
club, whatever.
Yeah, and twins.
I told Brandon that if you watch it again, you can do a drinking game every time he shows up at the bar. or the
Yeah.
club or whatever.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
Yeah, Nani says, I love The Crow. I can see that. There was also quite a bit pulled from the comics, which I love. Yeah, there was. I saw a lot of the Hush comic in here. They're calling this year 2, basically. That's what Matt Reeves keeps saying. I did
a little bit of Hush, but not, I don't know.
Not a great deal. I
Oh,
just
the
saw
word
some.
Hush.
Yeah, the word Hush was in here. Easter egg. I will say this. I think superhero movies live and die with the villain. If you have a good villain, if it's
I
a
would agree.
convincing villain, usually the movie's a good movie.
Usually,
and so
if it's
I
a
think
sympathetic villain of some sort.
Yeah, I think the best example of that is the Joker in Dark Knight. And that ultimately, that's why I don't like the Zack Snyder stuff. And I'm not trying to throw shade, yo. I'm just saying that I don't see Batman. I like Batman when he is encompassed and encapsulated in Gotham, where he's figuring out a situation within Gotham, not a worldwide problem. So that's my thing. Also, I'm a grown man, and I don't get as excited
Here
as I
comes
used
the
to when I
dig.
was a kid. No, I'm not. I'm just saying, me personally, I'm a grown man. I don't get as excited about Batman as much as I used to back in the day. So I did think this movie was more my preferred. And you guys made the joke, Batfleck or Pattinson. I would
I
say
think
they're
you know the
probably.
answer with the
I
two on
think
the
they're.
right. But
I think they're pretty equal, as far as It just there's good and bad of both, but um, I don't know. I would say that I don't see.
I
I
would
have a
say
feeling.
Robert Pattinson's Batman was much better than his Bruce Wayne. His Bruce Wayne was nothing to
Well,
me.
his Bruce, but you got to think about the way I looked at this was year 2, and he was trying to figure things out, and he was still an emotional young man. So
Yeah, I didn't even
I
get
could see that.
I had no connection with any of the characters in this movie.
I can't say I had a connection, and I can't say that I had like the excitement. But that's why I went through the whole thing. I'm a grown man now, and not like my 9-year-old self going to watch 1989 Batman for the first time. So it's just the difference. Again, I saw it. Apparently, I saw it in the early bird special theater, because it's all elderly people in there. It's a college movie theater, so I didn't understand that. But no clapping, so it was good. I will say this. And Brandon, I don't know if you've been to the GTX theaters over here in Athens, but the seats were like 45-degree angles, so you had to turn your body towards the screen. So luckily there weren't many people in there, and I had to kind of like situate myself to watch the movie like this for 3 hours to watch the movie, because I was facing 45-degree. I was on the side 4 seats, and I was facing the center aisle. The seats are turned that way, and I felt that was very strange way to set up a movie
I don't
theater.
remember that I haven't been to that one in a while, but I remember it from when I used to go there.
Yeah. So anyway, I like soundtrack enough to say I would probably buy the soundtrack on vinyl.
I would be interested in buying it on. I would say I would be interested in buying it on vinyl if it's like
if it was a good,
if it's a cool
yeah, if it's So, but I don't think it's something I would like just listen to in the car. Like, I'll listen to Halloween,
sure,
like on Easter. It's
All
good,
year.
but yeah, soothing. But ultimately, again, I don't want to spoil anything. I thought Pattinson was good. I did feel more, though. Okay, if you want to look at the suit, just the cowl itself. Whenever they did a tight shot and you couldn't see the ears, or
there's a lot of tight shots of that cowl.
It looked like Daredevil more than it looked like Batman, if you want to say anything. But it didn't take me out of the movie by any stretch of the imagination. I will say that, and I'm not spoiling anything here. I think everybody knows there's post-credit scenes for everything. I'm not going to say what it was, but it was. I had to go to the bathroom so bad at that point, and I was like, "All right, I know there's one." And then I saw it, and I was like, "Son of a mother! I waited for this almost."
I'll be honest with you, I didn't even wait for a post-credit scene.
So yeah, it. I'll tell you what it is after the show. It's. I don't know if it was, so I'm sure plenty of people have tried to go to the website they have in the movie. I don't know, but I don't know. I didn't like me personally. I think these movies should be geared towards children more than adults because they're superheroes, and just I'm not a big fan of throwing the GD around anyway, but they threw that around quite a bit, and I didn't like the cursing aspect of it. I didn't think that was necessary. I just felt like they were like, well, we're gonna be really hip and cool and say dirty words. Not to say that I'm above that, above cursing or anything. I'm just saying that I didn't think it was necessary in this movie, and keeping the PG-13 moniker on there. So I don't know. But ultimately, it's not something I really want to or necessarily want to run out and see again. Like The Dark Knight, I wanted to see immediately again with another set of friends or whatever. This, I'll probably buy it when it comes out just because I want to own it. But I don't know. It's not something. It's not something that I'm eager to see right now again. It was way too long for what it was.
Yeah, I
And
cannot
way
commit
too
to
much.
sitting in the theater for another 3
Yeah.
hours of that.
Way too much.
Can't do
Way
it.
too much fat in this movie, and they're saying that there's a lot more that he left on the cutting room floor. It was closer to 4 hours in the original cut. So I'm sure that people start pitching a fit for the Reeves cut or whatever.
Don't release the Reeves cut.
But I think you guys.
God.
I think you guys are in the minority.
Release the studio cut.
No, we're totally in the minority.
Yeah, I think.
And that's the thing. But if anybody wants to hear because we won't really. Ryan and I have said enough already in our spoiler-free review we did late after we saw it. We had to start like 4 times because we were just like, I can't like. We were just.
It's a great place.
Ourselves.
It's a great theater to meet. That's between our 2.
It was like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Houses.
But anyway, I think hopefully it comes across that we were disappointed majorly with this movie, but it's not a bad movie. It's still a fine movie. It just pales in comparison to everything that's came before it for us, and the things that it's taking inspiration from, like the Fincher stuff that it draws heavily from.
Yeah,
it's very much like
Nolan stuff.
I thought the
Riddler's
getup was a little.
That's the thing. Like
it was.
He
lacking.
was such a weakness in this movie for me.
Yeah, it was a little silly.
I was like, Paul Dano is I knew when they cast him that I was gonna freaking love his because I've loved everything that he's in, but he was such a disappointment to me in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, some of the tactics that he took were okay, but again, I'm trying to choose. That's number one. But I don't know. I think his getup was, and again, I'm not going to go into it, but I think the third act of this movie was the least effective of the movie.
I actually really, really enjoyed the first 15 minutes, the like journaling monologue.
Yeah, I liked the detective stuff.
It fell off quickly.
I liked whenever
the third act was just nope.
I liked I liked the Batman. I liked the Bruce Wayne stuff just fine. This I will say this, and you guys made a joke. I think Ryan, you made the joke in our text the other day. Like you sent somebody's tweet review of this, and it was like a moody, realistic. I don't even remember all the words they use. But anyway, you're like, "Oh, your new favorite Batman is coming up or whatever." And
It probably had something to do with being sad.
something. If they had played The Cure in this, it would have been over. I would have been like, "Oh my god." But no, I thought that the Nine Inch Nails, the Nirvana music in this was distracting to me.
I think
Because
if they had just kept it instrumental, it would have been better.
But you had this beautiful score going on.
Also, for some reason, with it being in the trailer, it was weird for me that they put it.
And they had that
movie,
that kind of like rehashed version of it. And so anyway, neither here nor there. I'm not the underwear movie guy. I do like Batman overall. And this is not me knocking anything. I would prefer this over the Zack Snyder stuff. I'm just putting it out there. If somebody asked, I think Dave asked Batfleck or Pattinson. But that's not to say that it's my preferred. I still think the Nolan trilogy is probably the better trilogy, but I do prefer Michael Keaton as Batman.
For me, the worst offense that this movie kind of creates is that it's so familiar when it comes to those Nolan movies, even though they're going more grounded than Nolan did.
Yeah.
It's just, there's so many beats that they hit that I've seen in those movies, and they were just done better.
Even like the climax, like the bombs thing. I was like, oh, it's like blowing up all the bridges in Dark Knight Rises.
I think Zoe Kravitz was, I don't know if she was.
I'm Catwoman'd out, man.
I don't know if she was poorly used or if she was just poor in this.
I was
movie.
bummed that Andy Serkis wasn't used.
Well, yeah. Well, I won't go into that because I'll give spoilers away. But, yeah, I was kind of excited at first because it's in the beginning of the movie. Again, I'm not spoiling anything. They're trying to, Alfred and Bruce are trying to figure out the riddles together at the beginning. And I like that because Alfred used to be integral in the old Batman TV show. There's one episode of the old Batman TV show where it's one of the funniest episodes where Batman needs a distraction. So Alfred, with the big mustache, dresses up in the Batman costume, goes up on a rooftop, and he's like, "I'm Batman," basically. And he's got this big white mustache, and you're like, "You're not Batman." so
this is what Al wants in his Batman movie.
No, I'm just saying. I like when Alfred is integral because Alfred was much more, especially in the comics and such.
That's one of the issues I have with this is like I mentioned, I was so flat through this whole movie. I didn't have any connection or feel any sympathy really for any of the characters, and Alfred and Bruce's relationship is always one that's really interesting to me, and I feel like that wasn't like it wasn't explored enough to the point where they had that little moment in the hospital where I cared. Like,
yeah, well, it felt like that was, I don't know if this is true or not, this is just me saying this, but it feels like that has to be some of the stuff that was cut out, because I don't know why you would have Andy Serkis in a movie for maybe 5 minutes of screen time, and I'll be honest with you, you're going to see a lot of people dressed up like the Riddler and stuff like that. And
we had a guy dressed up as a raccoon-eyed Pattinson in our theater.
Okay, all right. I do agree. Daredevil or the Gimp from Pulp Fiction. I did think about Pulp Fiction while looking at the Riddler during this movie. And Batman did look like Daredevil a little bit to me. But I don't know. I didn't hate it. I'm not going to say it was great. I thought it was entertaining in a lot of the parts. But it's not going to trump the Nolan nor the Burton Batman movies for me. And but I do think I'll buy it, and I do think I'll watch it again. To whereas I know that I still haven't seen the Snyder Cut. Don't think I will. And I just have no interest in that. That's too campy and like cartoony for me. And the villain thing, the villains were terrible in those movies for me. So I like the more realistic tone. And you said it, Brandon. This is way more realistic than the Nolan is, and so I like that. But they did, like I said, they really did pull elements from all the Batman movies that came before this. So can't stand the mask of the Riddler. He looks like the guy from Fat Albert. Was that Mushmouth? Well, the one with the stocking cap over his head with the eye holes. Do you even know who Fat Albert is?
Who, us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to watch Fat Albert.
Hey. Yeah, so I don't know. I almost canceled my viewing tonight. I was gonna see if a friend wanted to go see it with me, but I was like, I'll watch it and before the show. And I got here like 4 minutes before we were supposed to go on. So I haven't had dinner or anything, and I didn't eat anything at the theater. But still in all, it was good. It was
Blood sugar's getting low.
I did think there was one scene in the movie, and it's in the trailer, where he's walking down I guess it's a hallway where the machine guns are going off and everything, and it's kind of like a strobe effect for the fight scene.
The one that they did in Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, it felt like he was like he ripped himself off from the 8 movies, because there was part of that in the 8 movies, and I think the second one. I always get those mixed up, so I don't want to say the the title. Rise, I think it was. Anyway.
No, it would have been Rise. That was the first one.
Then the second one, whatever that is. Sure, why not?
Anyway. Dark Knight, Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I liked it just fine. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad by any means. I really did like the tone of it, though.
That's the thing is I told Ryan when we were going into seeing this, I was like,
this was better than the Dark Knight for me, at least.
There's a lot of people that are really, really digging this movie.
Wow. I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't feel the same way, but I would like to hear your reasoning for that, if you have any, or if it's just like, hey, I liked it more. That's fine too. I don't think you have to break everything down so much. So
going into this, I felt very confident that I was going to love this movie as a movie. I was going to still have my hangups with not liking the costume. And that was going to be what I expected, because I knew on a casting level, everything was picture perfect. I was in love with Matt Reeves as a director. I loved the tone that he had set. The trailers looked great. But after watching it, it just kind of fell flat.
I'll tell you Brandon's reaction to the end of the movie. I can't do it on CiNEMAChine though.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I was not.
What
happy.
part? Well, can you say without spoiling what part people clapped at? Because I'm interested. Because
it wasn't during
when the credits rolled, like when the directed by Matt Reeves part hit.
Yeah, I was
beginning.
I was like that, and nobody clapped. I was like, I love you guys. So
my favorite movie.
But like I said, I hope that this comes across in our review. Like the last thing I want to do is kind of like take a big dump on things that people like, but I just felt like it was super derivative of the things that came before it and the things that was kind of aping. And,
look.
But that's what most things are nowadays.
And it was just very forced in places to try, because I know there's a lot of weight to do this type of movie, and especially on the actors and direct, like everybody's like, they're like, all right, how can we make this one set apart, and how can we go grittier and darker and whatever than the things that have came before it. And you can see it's very try hard. You can see them trying to make it instead of it just being as good. Like, because I don't know. I would have rather them really have the balls to make this like an R-rated, like super like dark and gritty noir crime thriller movie, and just go all out with it.
Go
like
full Joker on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think they should have done.
Okay, so
because
Derpy
at the end of the
Gaming-
day, it just felt kind of like paint by the numbers for
So
me.
Derpy Gaming came back and said, because I'm a Batman fan, diehard DC fan, it took a
Long
mixture
Halloween is
storylines,
all over this one for
comics
sure.
like year one meets long year zero. Yeah, I agree. It's been a long time since I've read that. I did.
Makes
Man,
sense
I
though,
used to
because
read the
I'm
comics like
actually not a
crazy.
huge. I'm not a huge fan of. I know it's popular. I'm not a huge fan of Long Halloween.
I used to be a big fan of that, but I haven't read it in a long time. Every time I'd have to go to church camp or something, I would get a stack of comics. You're reading the Bible. I'm reading Batman and the Punisher. You're reading about punishment. So yeah, I don't know. We got more. Got to see Snyder Cut, man.
Oh, the gauntlet's been laid.
Back.
Yeah,
yeah.
there you go.
You don't want to hear me talk about Zack Snyder movie, and neither do they.
No.
So,
he didn't say
I'll
anything
watch.
about talking.
I'll
it. He
watch
said-
something.
he said
I'll
you just
do a
gotta
trade
watch
with
it.
you, but it won't be the Snyder Cut. I'll do a trade with you. You suggest something else, and I'll watch it. I promise you. I do appreciate you watching Hobo and Rubber twice, for crying out loud. And yeah, earlier Dave was talking about the director of Rubber being a DJ because he liked the music a lot. So I can see that too. So yeah, I don't know. I can see this being divisive. Now they're not going to make sequels to this, right?
really
It's not divisive at all.
Yeah.
People just love it.
Everyone
Oh, yeah,
loves it,
it's-
yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's a resounding win for most people.
So basically, the Snyder stuff is like the Creed of Batman movies now. People just do people retro? I'm asking. I'm not making joke. They are making sequels. I know they're making an HBO Max show. Is what I heard.
This is gonna be in a trilogy, probably.
Okay. I would be interested in seeing more of this. To be honest with you, please don't make them 3 hours long, for crying out loud. It's just too much. Like, break it up into a few movies. Like, I'm fine with cliffhanger. Like, just make a movie and release them like every 6 months or something like that. Whatever.
Every 5 years.
I think
Every
this
5
is
years.
just- there's just a lot of trimming that could have been done to make it not
Yeah,
feel as
there's-
long as it is. Because I'm not opposed to seeing a 3-hour
Different
movie. If
spin-offs.
I'm
Thanks, Derpy
I'm tracking
Gaming.
with
Oh.
it. But
For sure. There was just a lot of like mental time checks in this one. For me.
Yeah, no, I okay. I'm surprised to hear it's not divisive at all. Or for the
Yeah,
majority.
not even like critically. Like it's
Wow. I've literally, honestly, I watched the majority of your review, and Brandon was talking about the Joker and Taxi Driver and how this is Fincher-esque and such. But I'll go back to that. I think most things nowadays just kind of, most movies are cover movies nowadays. Penguin spinoff,
Well,
Arkham
the thing
Asylum
is-
spinoff, and GCPD spinoff. You're welcome. Are those, and possibly a Catwoman spinoff? I believe. I honestly have no interest in seeing her as Catwoman again, but there's nothing against her. I think she's okay, but I just didn't think she was. I don't know if she was just poorly used in this movie or what, but I just thought the character was. I'll use your word, flat.
Aside from
That particular character,
from Michelle Pfeiffer, because the performance just kind of classic nostalgia for me at this point.
yeah.
This is just not really a character that I am drawn to. Catwoman, I never really have been.
Yeah. I liked. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm an Eartha Kitt fan or whatever. That was super campy, and that was my first introduction. I used to have the Catwoman comics back in the day because it was Batman related, and so you enjoyed her as Catwoman. I'm guessing you're saying Derpy Gaming. So, and that's great. I just thought it was, I don't know. I just thought it was a little silly. Some of the things they did, and I just don't know if it was, again, I don't know if it was her performance or if she was just poorly used. It's not written well
Again,
enough.
with all the stuff that I'm saying, I totally understand. Like, this was a well-made movie. It's beautifully shot.
Yeah.
I actually really like the sound design in this movie too.
Yeah. The GTX that I went and saw this, it was great.
So like, it was a well-made movie. It just, for whatever reason, story-wise and length, it just didn't resonate with me.
I would say that's my biggest fallback is the length and a couple of the performances where I won't say they were the Catwoman was flat. Really thought they just kind of put her in scenarios to they put her in situations that were very convenient to move the story forward versus them actually moving the story forward, and I won't get into that.
Brandon just really loved the good.
The only problem from her was the line, you know what line, but I get it in the use of the film. I'm trying to think of the line. I honestly just literally got out of the theater 10 minutes before this movie, before this show started. So
Brandon's a big fan of her nails.
I didn't understand the gloves. Well, is that going to be a new trend where you have gloves where your fingernails hang out of your gloves?
I don't think so, Al.
I was like, okay, come on. This is a little silly. And her stocking cap was whatever.
There were a couple of points with her stocking cap where you could tell her nose was pushed down because her voice had changed. So
yeah,
she's like sounded like nasally.
The Bat Cycle looked a little silly to me. I like the Batmobile though.
Just a bike.
No, it had a Batman shield on the front. It was the shape of Batman's cowl. Did you not see that?
I mean, it just had the two spikes coming up, but that's pretty common on bikes.
No. It was actually like the shape of his helmet, still, like with the spikes and then the rounded parts and stuff. I was like, all right, whatever. But the Batmobile I liked. Wayne Manor looked like Alfred didn't work. It looked like he didn't clean up ever. It looked a little like dusty and dingy. That was my only complaint. Hey man, the privileged line. Yeah, that was a little forced. I do remember now. That was a little forced. They got to wiggle
the
those
line that he was referencing, or I assume that's what it was, but
wiggle politics and everything. Just let us have our peace of mind, for crying out loud. Just let us escape all of the nonsense, Hollywood, please. So yeah, I look forward to seeing more of these. I guess it's going to do well. Again, I have not seen one review of this. I have not seen any scores or anything. I was getting kind of nervous because anytime a movie comes out with too many trailers, it's usually a cry for like, please go see our movie. Like they're, like they're desperate for you to go see it. And this movie, it seemed like every 3 seconds a new trailer was coming out, like the Bat and the Cat, the Penguin trailer, the Fly on the Wall trailer and stuff like that. And I was just like, all right, whatever. Done right, 3 hours will fly by. I agree with that. And there are movies like Braveheart and things like that. That movie flies by for me.
Done right, 4 hours will fly by. Am I right, Brandon?
But right. This movie just had some elements that you could cut out, and this movie could have easily been 2 hours, 15 minutes, 2 hours, 2.5 hours easily, in my opinion. So, but I'm not a professional.
Some could say the same about this episode.
Hey man, people are chatting with us about this. So,
I'm just kidding.
But anyway, no, but I appreciate everybody commenting on this, and this is what this show is all about. We want to chit chat about movies. I know that we are going to get some other friends on at some point to do a full spoilers review. So, I do suggest that everybody go and watch Brandon and Ryan's spoiler free review, and then
you can click it right here somewhere. Right, Ryan?
Yes.
I was super hyped for Batman, but then I saw the Batcat trailer and something seemed off.
Dave, have you seen it yet?
He said he's going to see it soon. I think that's what he said earlier.
I would anybody that's interested in seeing it. Obviously, I was surprised I could get
into it. If you're a Batman fan, go see the movie.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's even. I'm glad I saw it, even if I didn't come out of it super enthused. But you know,
it was really easy to get tickets. I had no issue, and I just bought tickets like late yesterday afternoon to watch it this afternoon. And again, only like 20-25 people were in my theater, tops. So
I mean,
I feel like it's a pretty. I mean, tonight is preview night, and I don't know how.
And it was on some screens last night.
Yes, they're doing a weird release, but yeah, definitely go see it if you're interested. And yeah, we are planning once some of the regulars that frequent our channel have a chance to see it. We want to get everybody kind of together and chat about it freely because it is. Obviously, it hasn't even officially came out yet. It's still preview night. So want to give people a chance to see it so that we can have a little more of a open discussion.
Oh, I did watch another movie. Forgot.
Again?
I watched a movie with Movie Club. I totally forgot. Blowout. We watched that Blowout movie that I said that movie Kimmy. Is that it? I said it looks like they ripped that off. Watch that.
Speaking of Catwoman.
Yeah. That movie's just good to me. So if you get a chance, watch Blowout, Brian De Palma movie with John Travolta. Very, very good movie. I think the folks in my movie club enjoyed it. And I have two versions. I have the Arrow version and I have the Criterion version. We watched the Criterion version. So I highly suggest that if you can. So, all right. Well, we got a couple other movies coming out this week. What do we have coming out this week, Brandon?
Obviously, the Batman is coming out. There's a movie called Fresh that's hitting Hulu. It's a Sebastian Stan movie.
Pretty interested in seeing that one.
Trailer looked somewhat interesting.
What's it about? Like eating meat, eating.
They should have got Armie Hammer to play him instead of Sebastian Stan, judging by
that's
he's busy getting ready for the Batman, Brandon.
Yeah. And then West Side Story is hitting Disney Plus. There's not really any other major releases coming out, but West Side Story was a bigger Spielberg movie, came out around the holidays, and now it's going to be on Disney Plus. If you're into musicals,
money in the theaters, so I'll be surprised. I know people are screaming about it for Oscars now, but I think that's just because who directed it more so than the movie itself. It's hard to beat the original of that. It's just one of those things. It's just really hard to beat the original.
I've heard a lot of people, and it could be hyperbole, have said that this one's better than the original.
Yeah, that's a hyperbole. That's got to be hyperbole. Because
people like what they like, you know.
Yeah, or they act like they like what they like, so they get paid by certain people. So, we'll see.
Who's to say?
I think we just said it. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Ryan, you want to tell everybody how they can get in touch with us again?
Hit subscribe button here on YouTube and notification bell so you can stay up to date on all our videos. We are on Instagram at CiNEMACHinePod. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/CiNEMAChinePod. Appreciate all the support that we get there.
Yeah, and remember to tune in to our Instagram. I'll put my over the next few days. I'll pepper them in there. But I've bought a few records lately. guys, I have a sickness. I refused. I didn't buy any souvenirs at Disney. And then on my way home, I was like, I spent too much money, blah, blah, blah. And I stopped to to get some gas and stuff. And I noticed there was a record store down the street from the gas station after I searched it on Google. And I went and bought a couple records. So I was like, yeah, you got a problem, Al. So if you would tune in over there, and also share our videos with folks. Brandon and Ryan's review is doing really well. Share that with folks. Let's get some more comments on there. And I think we had a good episode tonight. 2 hours, almost as long as the Batman. So Snyder Cut will fly by Al.
It will fly right by Al.
Yeah, right by me. I can't do it. It will enrage me more than the Matrix. Night, Nighty G. Well, folks, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Continue to watch many movies until we see you next time on the next CiNEMACHiNE.